Controversy brews over gun control in Texas. A school considers arming its teachers, and the parents are having a tough time coming to an agreement over the issue. The royal baby makes his 3-month debut as he officially becomes Prince George Alexander Louis of Cambridge, and an Anglican. Realtors often say, location, location, location. But does where you live determine more about you than you think? A new study suggests correlations between geography and personality. What does your neighborhood say about you? Hello, I'm Ariel Tuchiyama. Welcome to OC News. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton. The Obama administration is now doing damage control after technical issues have plagued the launch of healthcare.gov this week. Officials are promising fixes as quickly as possible. But what exactly does that mean? Tori Dunnan has a story from Washington.
As the battle over Obamacare rages on, the woman behind the rollout of the website, healthcare.gov, is answering questions about the technical fiasco.
We had an enormous volume, and the volume both caused some issues to show up and exposed some additional issues.
Among other things, there's the inability for many people to actually sign up for healthcare coverage. So it begs the question to Health and Human Services Director Kathleen Sebelius, will the March deadline to obtain health insurance or face a fine, otherwise known as the individual mandate, stick?
Well, I don't think that really is the question right now. The issue is, will people be able to sign up for affordable health care in this 6-month open enrollment period? And I think the answer is absolutely yes.
I mean, with so many unanswered questions and the problems arising around this rollout, it doesn't make any sense to impose this 1% mandate tax on the American people.
According to the White House, specialists from the Silicon Valley will be brought in along with former Office of Management and Budget Acting Director Jeff Zients. As 2 House committees begin to investigate the botched website launch, even Democrats have expressed frustration.
We're not happy if the process doesn't work well. We're not interested in hearing about glitches. We're interested in moving forward.
But so far, no word on exactly when we can expect to see those fixes. In Washington, I'm Tori Dunnan.
Oregon police say a teenage driver ran over and killed 2 girls playing in a pile of leaves. The deadly crash happened Sunday in Forest Grove near Portland. Police say the 18-year-old driver hit the girls, then drove away. The girls' father had been taking pictures of them, but went into the house to put down his camera when he heard the crash. Cynthia Garcia Cisnero was arrested on a felony charge related to the incident. Her boyfriend, 18-year-old Mario Echeverria, is charged with trying to hide the evidence of the crash. A newborn baby was found dead in a dumpster outside of a Las Vegas resort. Las Vegas Metro Police say they were called to the Planet Hollywood Hotel and Casino on the Strip of Las Vegas after a worker reported finding the infant while sorting recyclables. Investigators did not release the sex of the baby, and police are investigating. When we come back, a look at This Weekend in Sports. And Banksy's at it again. See what the renowned street artist has created now.
The odds of this daughter of a clergyman spending 11 weeks at #1 on the U.S. singles charts? 1 in 19 million. The odds of going on to win 6 Grammy Awards? 1 in 1.4 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 150. I'm Toni Braxton, and I encourage you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org.
It's in the way we work and the way we compete. It's in the way we reach out and why we dream. Titan Pride is at the heart of who we are.
Whether it's on the field or on stage, in the classroom or in the boardroom, Titans reach higher.
It'll be a busy weekend in sports, just like it always is this time of year. With the preview, here's Cyrus Palisban.
Thanks, Ariel. I'll be previewing sport games for this upcoming weekend. We'll start with Cal State Fullerton soccer. The Titans soccer team will host UC Riverside this Saturday at 7 p.m. The Titans are 6-1 on the year and have won 3 of their last 4 games. They will look for their 7th victory on the season against a Riverside team that has won 7 games of themselves this year. Tickets can be purchased at the box office at Titan Stadium. On the women's side of things, the women's soccer team will host UC Davis this Sunday at 1 p.m. and will look for their 8th victory of the season. While the Titans are 7-5-4 on the year, UC Davis comes in with an overall record of 4-7-3 and will look to pull off the upset on the road. Tickets for this matchup can also be purchased at Titan Stadium prior to the match. It's hard to believe, but it's already Week 8 in the NFL, and that means games keep getting more important. We'll start with the NFC side of things and look at the NFC East leading Dallas Cowboys, who will travel to Detroit to take on the Lions, who are coming off a tough loss against the Cincinnati Bengals last Sunday. Meanwhile, the Cowboys have won their last 2 games, but are still without DeMarcus Ware and DeMarco Murray. Both are questionable for this Sunday's game. The Lions will look for their home crowd to jumpstart that explosive offense of theirs and hope to capture their 5th victory of the season, which would be one more than they won all of last season. One AFC match that many people will have their eyes on this Sunday will be between the Cleveland Browns and the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, the Chiefs through 8 weeks are the only undefeated team remaining in the NFL. And a large part of that is due to their defense. Kansas City comes in with the first-ranked defense in the NFL, which will be difficult for the Browns to counter, especially on the road. While Cleveland has surprised many people with 3 victories of their own this season, this will be by far their toughest matchup of the year. Quarterback Brandon Weeden and the Browns' offense will have to be prepared for the noise that awaits them at Arrowhead Stadium, which is known to be one of the league's loudest stadiums. Kickoff is at 10 a.m. local time as Andy Reid and Alex Smith look to improve to 8-0 in their first year together. Finally, we will preview an afternoon matchup between the Washington Redskins and Denver Broncos. The Broncos suffered their first loss of the year last Sunday, losing 39-33 to the Colts. Meanwhile, the Redskins defeated the Chicago Bears in a shootout last Sunday 45-41, led by 3 touchdowns from running back Roy Helu. This game also features Redskins head coach Mike Shanahan making his return to the Mile High City. Shanahan was the Browns coach from 1995 to 2008 and won back-to-back Super Bowls there. Tune in at 1:25 p.m. to see if Shanahan's homecoming turns out better than Peyton Manning's did last Sunday in Indianapolis. It's officially late October, which means one thing: the World Series has arrived. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the 109th World Series will begin tonight with Game 1 of the St. Louis Cardinals and Boston Red Sox at 5:07 p.m. in Boston. The Cardinals defeated the Dodgers 4-2 in the NLCS. Meanwhile, the Red Sox knocked off the Detroit Tigers 4-2 in the ALCS. The Cardinals will be gunning for their 2nd world title in 3 years, while the Red Sox will look for their first title since 2007. The series will shift to St. Louis this weekend for Games 3 through 5. Game 3 will be played on Saturday, with Game 4 following that on Sunday. Once again, it's expected to be a crazy action-filled weekend in the sports world, so make sure you pull up a chair and catch a few games. Back to you, Ariel.
Thanks, Cyrus. Controversy is brewing down south. A Texas school considers allowing guns in the classroom to beef up security. Some parents support the idea, while some are strongly against it. Stephanie Ando reports.
Should teachers be allowed to carry guns at school? That's the question Brenham ISD administrators have been trying to answer for months.
It speaks for society that we even have to discuss this and talk about it in today's society, but we do.
Superintendent Sam Bell says safety is a top priority at Brenham ISD. That's why the school board is seriously considering a proposal that would allow teachers with concealed handgun licenses to have firearms in the classroom. As part of the Brenham Angel Guardian program, school staff would anonymously volunteer for the program, go through psychological and law enforcement training, and keep their gun in a safe in the classroom. A lot of parents support the idea.
I would rather they be armed and protected and be able to protect themselves and our children.
I would agree with that, yeah.
But others aren't so sure.
I am absolutely against the program.
Lysandra Sanders says she recently retired from teaching after 35 years. She spent 16 years with the Brenham School District.
I feel like security guards and policemen should be able to do this, not teachers. I have acquired 301 signatures of people, various walks of the community, that feel like I do.
School officials say more security guards could be the answer for Brenham ISD. New fencing and more security cameras are options too. But most people agree that Brenham schools should prepare for potential threats against students and teachers now, rather than wish they had once it's too late.
I would like to think that they're safe here, but you watch the news every day and know that they're not, that it can happen anywhere.
In lighter news, guerrilla graffiti artist Banksy's latest art of work has popped up in New York. Take a look. It shows a young boy spray painting the words "Ghetto for Life" across a gray wall in the South Bronx. The boy is accompanied by a butler who has 2 additional cans of spray paint on a serving tray. Every day this month, Banksy has been unveiling new works of art around New York. But Mayor Michael Bloomberg is not pleased about it. He calls the graffiti a sign of decay and loss of control. Despite this, the NYPD says it's not looking for the artist. The guys of Jackass are at it again. Kelly Clarkson hears wedding bells, and there is another royal affair across the pond. All that and more when we come back.
What if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? What if everything familiar becomes anything but? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready.
He's third in line for the British throne, and today, baby Prince George was welcomed into the Church of England, wearing a replica of a 19th century christening gown. In a break from tradition, the ceremony was at St. James Palace, was small and intimate. Max Foster has more on the christening of the royal baby. America's Sweetheart has finally tied the knot, and fresh off the heels of an over-the-top proposal, a rapper kicks off a highly anticipated tour with a stop in LA this weekend. Melissa Munoz has this and more in your entertainment scoop.
The female power singer that boasts of being single and has been fine with that has finally tied the knot. As of this past Sunday, Kelly Clarkson is now Mrs. Blackstock after getting hitched with talent manager Aaron Blackstock. The couple made it official with their small wedding at a private farm in Tennessee. Kelly made the announcement on her Twitter along with some photos. The guys from Jackass are back this weekend as they deliver another slapstick comedy.
Oh, God. Nothing.
Jackass presents Bad Grandpa, which follows Billy that is aided with his 86-year-old grandpa, Johnny Knoxville. The two set across on a nationwide, insane hidden camera road trip. Buy your movie ticket to get an easy laugh as this will deliver many, as they catch real people in unreal situations. The same guy that brought you The Gladiator, Ridley Scott has another action-packed film.
I know why I'm in it. Do you?
It's a nice ring. Want to know how much it's worth?
The Counselor has an all-star cast with Academy Award winners Penelope Cruz and Brad Pitt. Michael Fassbender stars as a greedy lawyer who gets into the world of drug trafficking.
The slaughter to come is probably beyond our imagining.
It's still Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and for the people of Fargo, North Dakota, have found a unique way to raise funds for the cause. Also, we have a special guest in studio with information about Cal State Fullerton's Society of Professional Journalists. President Mia McCormick will join us when we come back.
It's in the way we work and the way we compete. It's in the way we reach out and why we dream. Titan pride is at the heart of who we are.
Whether it's on the field or on stage, in the classroom or in the boardroom, Titans reach higher.
Does where we live determine our temperament, or does our temperament determine where we live? There's some fascinating new research that may show us a thing or two about what makes up our national personality. We all get caught making broad generalities about people from certain parts of the country, but where do these stereotypes come from? It turns out there is truth to personality clustering by state, and it's a fascinating study. There is a pattern to our personality that can be seen in the places we choose to live. A new study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people with similar personalities tend to cluster and live in the same areas of the country, reinforcing the beliefs that some parts of the country are friendlier or more creative than others. In analyzing the personality traits of more than 1.5 million Americans over 12 years, researchers showed that you can neatly slice up the nation into 3 distinct regions based on personality and temperament. See if you can identify with any of these. In the North Central Great Plains and South, residents are more likely to be friendly and conventional. Those living along the East and West Coasts are more likely to be relaxed and creative. And those in the Mid-Atlantic and New England regions are more temperamental and uninhibited than those in the rest of the country. The researchers say these clusters of personality also define much more than a person's life than just their temperament, and found that results also translated into real cultural differences between the regions, in areas like politics, health, educational achievement, economics, and religion, things that truly shape different regional personalities. Speaking of personalities, there are clubs on campus for just about every type, major, or interest. Yes, even for us journalists like ourselves. Our own Daniel Zamilpa is in the studio with Mia McCormick, the president of the Society of Professional Journalists Clubs on campus.
Thanks, Ariel. And thanks so much, Mia, for being here with us today.
Of course.
Thank you. So what does Society of Professional Journalists do?
So Society of Professional Journalists is actually a national organization. We're the most broad-based journalism organization out there. So our chapter is more focused on improving our students' journalism skills. So we cater to journalism students in print, broadcast, and even photojournalism as well. So it's just kind of a place for all journalism majors to come, talk about skills and things like that together, and do workshops, listen to speakers.
What kind of speakers do you guys have?
We actually just had Dennis Foley, the internship director for the OC Register, and we have other local speakers such as broadcasters from different outlets in the region, and if we're lucky, we can get people from larger, more national-based publications and networks like ABC, NBC, those kind of things.
Awesome, that's great. So you mentioned national. Is there any way that students can get involved, with the national chapter of SPJ?
Yeah, actually, our membership dues go straight to national. So once you pay our dues, you're a member on the national level. And from there, you can go to conferences. This year we had our EIJ, which is Excellence in Journalism Conference, and that was actually in Anaheim this year. It was in August, and it'll be next year again in Nashville. So that's one of the big perks of being a member of Society of Professional Journalists.
Awesome. So, how can people get involved as far as being able to go to national conference?
So, come to our events and meetings, and we have a lot of different workshops that we do. And that just kind of helps you to network with other students, and it can also help you network with professionals when we do have speakers. And just being in SPJ gives you those opportunities because they do offer a lot of networking opportunities, internships, job openings, and our students and our members get those first.
And what's your biggest advice for students who are in the journalism program who are, hoping to branch out a little bit more outside of their studies and a little bit more into the field?
I think you definitely want to get involved with organizations like this because it does serve as an outlet for you to meet people who are in the industry who have been doing this professionally, and it really helps to broaden your horizons as far as you're not just going to class and learning skills that you know rules for and there's textbooks on them. You're learning real life experience, and you're getting to meet people who have been in the industry for a while and know what they're doing.
That sounds great, and I definitely can tell that a lot of students are really going to benefit from this club. How can students learn more about the club and get in contact with you guys and see about future events and coming up soon?
We're actually really boosting our social media right now, so you can follow us on Instagram. Just search Fullerton Chapter SPJ, or you can email us at fullertonspj@gmail.com for more information.
Perfect. Thank you so much again, Mia. Thank you for coming in, and yeah, definitely go out and get involved in SPJ. Thanks so much, Ariel. Back to you.
Thanks, Daniel. Bras, bears, and swans, oh my! We have the video you've got to see. Sunland Sarafati has today's Take a Look at This.
Take a look at this unique fundraiser for breast cancer research. Hundreds of bras strung over the outside of the Hotel Donaldson in Fargo, North Dakota. All week, people can make a financial donation and an old bra. They get strung over the building and across the street. Some 4,300 bras are on display. As if going to the dentist isn't scary enough, take a look at this black bear that was seen hanging out in a tree next to an Orlando area dentist office Tuesday. Rather than tranquilize him, local wildlife officials just waited for the bear to come down and run off into the woods. And city officials in Lakeland, Florida spent Tuesday rounding up nearly 70 swans from a lake there. It's part of an annual roundup to give the birds their yearly vaccinations and checkups. The first swans were donated over 50 years ago by Queen Elizabeth. After their checkups, the swans will be returned to the lake. For Take a Look at This, I'm Sunland Sarfati.
Well, that's going to do it for us here at OC News. I'm Ariel Tucciama. Thanks for watching and have a good night.